What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Life After Lockup Season 3, Episode 56, and the episode is titled, I'm Not in Love. Alright, you guys, so before we get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not yet subscribed to the channel, then I'm gonna need you guys to do me a big, huge favor. Stop taking me out on this date. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, turn your notifications on, share the video, and with that out the way, you guys, without further ado, let's discuss Life After Lockup, shall we? All right, you guys, so we're gonna go in order this episode. This episode was okay, could have been better. There were some couples that we could have left out, but we'll get to them. So first up, let's talk about Sean and Sarah, right? So with Sean and Sarah, we basically, literally, we actually picked up where we left off last week. You guys remember last week's episode, Sarah was upset with Sean because Sean had revealed to her that he had been lying to her this entire time about how many kids he has and his relationship with Destiny, right? So at this point, Sarah is upset and Sarah wants to leave. Sean, on the other hand, doesn't want Sarah to leave. He's begging her to stay. He looked very pathetic, to keep it real with you guys. Sean looked pathetic, begging this girl to stay. So then she's asking him, like, why would you even lie to me in the first place? Like, that makes no sense. Like, you guys so upset with me because I didn't tell you about my daughter, but here you are keeping kids a secret, and you were dating another felon before we got together. So apples and oranges. It's apples and oranges at this point, right? So Sean is talking about the fact that he was afraid. What are you afraid of, Sean? Like, what are you afraid of? Literally, when it comes to Sean, I can't stand looking at his face. And Kelly, I'll tell you this all the time, right? I think at this point, what we need to do is, like I said, take all the footage from WeTV, go to the court, put him on child support. But Sean was able to get Sarah to stay with him. Don't know how, right? So then the next morning we see them, he's cooked her breakfast, right? So she's asking him about the kids and Kelly, right? So he's telling her that there's nothing there between him and Kelly and that they don't get along with each other. The reason that you two don't get along is because of you. You make it, I wouldn't get along with you either. So I guess to put a band-aid on this situation with her, he asked her to move in, and she says that she'll think about it, but she needs time to process it. I'm thinking to myself, ma'am, don't do that. Big mistake. Like, he's lied to you. Why? Like, I just wouldn't do it. But we're gonna pause here, and we're gonna move forward. This review might not be that long when I think about it, but we'll see how long it's gonna be. So right now we're at almost 3 minutes. So actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll keep going. We'll pause. All right, you guys. So next we're going to talk about Lacey and Shane. So you guys see I let the window up to let a little bit of sunlight in. So Lacey and Shane. Lacey and Shane, when I look at Lacey and Shane, I do wonder how much of this is storyline with them, right? I do wonder how much of this is storyline because I just question this, right? I question how much of this is storyline with Lacey and Shane. So you guys remember that after Lacey and Shane went and saw the polygraph examiner, right? That Lacey suggested that they go to couples counseling, right? So in this episode, we see as Lacey and Shane are going to couples counseling, right? So they meet with the counselor. Right? And the counselor is asking them, why are they there, right? So Lacey tells the counselor that they're there because they went to meet with the lie, do the polygraph test. And she basically told the woman the results of the lie detector test. I was like, wow. So, she's telling her what happened, right? Shane says it was just OnlyFans. She says that's a lie because I go through your profile, and she goes through his profile all the time. I'm like, damn. So you go through his OnlyFans profile. Cool. Whatever, right? So she says that when she goes through his OnlyFans profile, that there's communication from both men and women in the messages, right? But she says Shane only responds to the men. He never interacts with the women, and that's very interesting and telling, right? You only interact with the men. But I wonder if it's the fact that maybe with chatting with the men, that maybe the men pay more than what the women pay. I don't know. But he says he communicates with both the men and the women. But she's saying not at all. So now things got a little bit deep with Shane and Lacey in this counseling session. She's talking about the fact that she doesn't love him anymore. She's talking about the fact that she wishes she didn't have a baby with him. She's talking about the fact that she wishes the baby was someone else's child. I'm like, damn, how do you say that? How do you fix your lips to say that to this man, right? So Shane then starts talking about, being depressed, because she did say at one point that when it comes to the baby, he gets mad when she cries. He's detached from the baby. He won't feed her. He won't do this with the baby. And I was just thinking to myself in that moment, I'm like, Lacey, listen to everything that you just said. That doesn't sound to you like maybe, because if this was a woman, right, and she was detached from the baby, she gets upset when the baby cries. She doesn't want to change the baby. She doesn't want to feed the baby. What would you say is a root cause of that? You would then know that the woman might have postpartum depression. And I know that they've talked about the fact that men can have depression, after the woman has the baby. And I really do believe Shane has depression. I mean, look at him. And he talked about the fact that he couldn't work after the baby was born. I mean, we are still in the pandemic. Despite what people might think, we're still in the thick of a pandemic, right? So she said, like I said, she said she wasn't in love with him. So then, she asked him, are you in love with me? He says, I love you. She says, are you in love with him? He says, yeah. I'm like, oh God, these two. I just really want to know with these two, how much of this is a storyline, how much of this is not. But we're going to move on, you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, you guys, so we're going to skip over to Stan and Lisa, because Deontay and Nicole were next, but we're going to do Stan and Lisa. So we see Stan and Lisa. You guys remember last week they were at that wall climbing event that they were doing, right? So Lisa finally admits to Stan that she is in fact Jasmine that he's been talking to on Facebook, right? So Stan says that he was talking to her because he thought that they were broken up, right? And she was like, how did you think we were broken up? He says, because you went and spent the night with your friend and, you didn't come home. So she was like, this is all because I wouldn't have sex with you. We all know how Stan is. Stan wants to have sex with Lisa. She was like, you got mad because I wouldn't put you in that straitjacket. I'm like, damn, what does Stan and Lisa, I don't want to know. I was about to say, what does Stan and Lisa do in the straitjacket? But at this point, I don't want to know. Keep it out of my mind and I don't want to envision it. I don't want to think about it, right? So Stan thought that they were done because she literally left. I'm like, so she left and spent the night with a friend and you automatically assume that you guys are done at that point? Yes, Stan is insecure as hell. Just keeping it real, Stan is a little bit insecure. In this scene, I'm like, what kind of English does Stan speak? Stan cannot say procrastinate. He said procrastinate. Procrastinate. So Lisa and Stan, I don't know where they left things off at, because I think she's saying that she wants to be friends with him. We know that's not what Stan wants. We know Stan wants his sugar as well as, Lisa. So in this scene, I couldn't get over the things that I could not get past in this scene. Lisa and her micro braids, couldn't get past her micro braids. And then Stan, his hair was literally all over his head. I was like, ain't nobody gonna tell my man Stan to get a brush and, brush this down at the back. This right here is poofed up. We're not gonna tell him to just because Stan got a swoop. I'm like, we're not gonna tell my man to swoop his hair back around because your hair is out of place, buddy. But yeah, Stan and Lisa, I guess Stan and Lisa, they're done. But actually, I did see, I have a Reddit account, right? I have a Reddit. And I did see on Reddit that they posted that Lisa has a fiance. She's wearing a wig in the picture. I'm like, so you did still have them Party City wigs that Stan had. Why didn't you plop one of them ugly ass Party City wigs on your head instead of these fusion micro braids that just look god awful? But we're gonna move on, you guys. All right, you guys, next up, let's talk about Christiana and Native American Joe Dirt, right? So Christiana is talking about married life. So it's been some weeks since, she and John had their vow renewal ceremony. I still question if John and Christiana are even legally married, but hey, that ain't got shit to do with me, right? So Christiana is talking about the fact that she is happy in her marriage. I was like, ma'am, your eyebrows, I can't even talk about her eyebrows because I need to get mine done too. But at least my eyebrows are, at least they're identical. At least they're identical. They may be a little bit bushy, but they're identical. They're identical. They are identical, right? You guys, are my eyebrows identical? Are they identical, you guys? Because I don't want to talk about Christiana. And I got fucked up eyebrows. Okay. That eyebrow goes to right there. And that one goes to... Yeah, they're identical. Sorry, guys. You can't get on camera and talk shit about people, and your little shit is fucked up. But yeah, her eyebrows look like I don't know what. So we find out some sad information about Christiana's mother, that she has lung cancer, right? Prayers up to her mother. Cancer, right? Basically, that's how we feel about cancer in this family. We feel that way about cancer, right? I know the next few things I must say are going to come off very shady, and I'm not trying to be shady. I'm just being, I just say what I feel, right? But I will preface it by saying, let's apologize. If anybody gets offended by what I say, I'm going to apologize, right? But Christiana told us that her mother is 58 years old. No shade. I would have never guessed that her mother was 58. I thought her mother was in her 70s. That's not me being funny or shady. I just really thought her mother was older than 50. She does not look 58. She really doesn't. So then we see Christiana and Native American Joe Dirt. They went to go visit her mother, right? And I was like, oh, so did Lisa donate her wigs to her mother? Because she had on a headband wig, and I was like, ooh, this wig is a no. Oh, I feel bad for saying that. But the wig was a no. Gotta be real, gotta be honest. The wig was an absolute no. Now, when Christiana took her mom's wig off, she is bald. And I was like, oh my God. She looks, I know she might not like the bald look, but she still looks good. Like, even with her eyelashes and her nails and everything, I was like, that's the look. Her mom looked good with hair, but not that hair that she had. I just got to keep it real with you guys. She didn't look good with that wig. She really didn't. We're going to pause here and move forward, you guys. So we got two more couples to talk about. The next one, I don't understand why we even had them in this episode, but we'll discuss them nonetheless. But let's move forward. All right, you guys, so the next couple that we're gonna breeze through is Amber and Puppy, you guys. Don't know why we had Amber and Puppy in this episode. They didn't give anything. The scene with them could have been in that 30-second little blurb that they do. Really could have been, so Amber and Puppy look like they went out to the club for the night, right? So Amber turns into a full-blown lesbian when she gets drunk. But you know what they always say, a drunk mind speaks a sober heart, right? So Amber, you might want to go ahead and just be honest with yourself. You're a lesbian. Because the lesbian tends to come out in you when you're drunk, right? So Puppy took Amber back home, put her in bed. Amber wanted Puppy to stay. She was kissing all on her. And here's the interesting thing, right? You guys remember last season, it was the reverse. that Puppy wanted to be all on Amber, but that one night that they went out to the club when they was around Scrap from Love and Hip Hop, they did go home and have sex. But now Amber wants to be on Puppy. Puppy's like, gotta go home to Eric. So that's what she did. She went home to Eric and she told Eric everything that happened between her and Amber, right? Eric is not too happy about that because he's like, see, this is what I was worried about. The fact that you two still have this relationship with each other and she might want you. I don't care. I can't even, I was just about to say, let's try to stretch this out to at least 2 minutes. We're at 1 minute and 38 seconds. So I'm just talking at this point, basically, just to fill this to at least 2 minutes. Because this scene, they could have kept it. I didn't get anything from it. I honestly wasn't really 100% paying attention to the scene. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move right on to the next couple. So let's move on, you guys, because we're literally over 2 minutes. All right, you guys, and now to wrap the episode up, let us discuss Nicole, Deontay, and Tia. In this episode, I've been looking at Tia for the last few weeks, and I'm like, who does Tia look like to you? Tia looks very familiar, and it finally came to me who Tia looks like. Tia looks like a broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres. Tia looks like a broke down version of Ellen. So that's what we're gonna name her we're gonna change her name from Ty to the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres. So we see the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres. She wants to get married soon to Nicole. So the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres tells us that, she has to have surgery. She has health issues, right? And she has to have surgery because she has 2 tumors on her liver. And I was like, wow, the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres has been through a lot of her lifetime, right? How old is the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres? I forget. I'll look at it when I put the little picture over here. But prayers up to the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres, right? So Nicole agrees to marry the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres. Okay, Nicole is playing a game with both the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres and with Deontay. Speaking of Deontay, we see Deontay, so he's at home. His mother comes over, right? She's checking on him, just seeing if things are good with him, right? He tells her he's good. So she asks him about Nicole. He says that, he hasn't really talked to Nicole in weeks. But then in his interview with us, he's talking about, he's Deontay, my brother, you look like a creeper and you look like a stalker. The fact that you have been on Nicole's social media to know that she's engaged to the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres, right? Once you and Nicole broke up for good, you literally should have went on social media and blocked her, but you didn't. Why? Stupid. So we see Nicole, she's out with her mother and they're shopping for her wedding dress, right? So over at Deontay's place, his best friend Derek comes over, right? And they're talking to each other and Derek is, asking, him about the last time he talked to Nicole. He says Nicole came down to his job. He says, wait a minute, you said she came down to your job? So his mama could hear it, right? And so they were like, why did she come down there? He says, well, she came down there to tell me that she's marrying a girl. Stop the bus. Stop the damn bus. I loved it. Stop the bus. Stop the damn bus. His mama is everything to me. I love his mama. Now, let's move over to Nicole, right? So Nicole, like I said, she's trying on her dresses, and then we go back over to her with this puffing, she's got this water bottle up to her mouth. I'm like, girl, what the hell happened to you? So I guess she's having a panic attack about marrying the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres. No one told you to do it, sis, but go off. But that's the episode, you guys. Please let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified of when I drop anything else. Share the video, and until the next one, you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.